Welcome back to Normal Baseball. We are officially a week into the MLB season, and Sandy Alcantara is really good at baseball. Let's talk about it. What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Normal Baseball Podcast. I'm Alex Normal Dog. I'll take off the glasses now. That's Lewis. And we're back with another recap episode. The week series are pretty much over. We are getting ready, heading up towards the weekend series. And we're going to tell you what happened this week. So, a lot of fun stuff happened this week. Baseball is back. It's kind of fully setting in now. Every day there's a slate of games, and every day it's just like, what games do I want to watch today? And you flip around between every game, and it's fun. Baseball is back. Very, very excited. And you know what else is back? I said that weird. You know what else is back now that baseball's back?
What would that be?
The weekly ding-dongs. The homer draft. Who will hit a home run in the week? We will be doing these on our Friday episodes, so Friday to Friday. This past one, since we did it on Monday, we only had 3 games for our players to hit home runs. Last week, Lewis picked Matt Olson and Yandy Diaz, and I picked Aaron Judge and O'Neill Cruz. Lewis, would you like to tell the people how your homer draft went?
My homer draft went just exactly where I left off at the end of last season. I got 1 home run from Matt Olson, a 2-run home run on the 5th, and I got 1 3-run home run from Yandy Diaz on the 4th. They called me a madman for picking Yandy Diaz, and guess what? He came through for me.
Fair.
Yep. How about your guys? How'd they do?
Yeah, I had 0 home runs. Aaron Judge did not homer, and O'Neill Cruz also did not homer, unfortunately. But it's fine. It's 2-0 now.
2-0.
2-0 in the ding dong draft. The ding dongs.
Yeah.
You have 2 ding dongs.
My ding dong is bigger than yours at the moment.
You have 2 ding dongs. I have no ding dongs.
Yeah.
I'm not even on the ding dong board yet.
My ding dong is just infinitely bigger than yours.
You're making this worse than it has to be.
All right. Anyways.
So we're gonna pick ours for this week.
Yeah.
But now we actually have the full week rather than just 3 games.
Yes, we do.
So, different players. And do we want to do can't pick the same player at all in the season? Do we want to try that?
No. Because then by the end, I'm taking, who the hell would, I'm taking, Ozzie Smith. Or Ozzie Albies.
Ozzie Smith?
I don't know why I said Ozzie Smith.
Oh my god, what is this, 19, whatever?
Yeah, I'm taking Ozzie Smith and, the ghost of Thurman Munson or something.
Okay.
I
guess.
I think that we should do the same thing as last year where we didn't, no doubling down. If you pick one, if either of us pick one, then we can't, either one of us cannot pick the same one,
So do you want me to pick first this week, since you picked first last week?
Sure, I guess.
All right. My first pick
AL or NL?
Is going in the NL.
Okay.
And it is team that is playing their opening day this weekend.
Okay.
It is Francisco Lindor of the New York Mets. They're playing in Citi Field. It just feels right. During their first series of the year, Lindor loves playing at home. I think Lindor is going to homer this week. This weekend, rather, and next week.
All right, I can get that. That's actually a very good pick. Well, I try not to knock everything here off my desk. Yeah, I like that pick. That's solid.
They play the Marlins, and who do they play next week? I didn't even check. I'm just confident that he's going to hit at least 1 over the weekend because, Lindor it always feels like Lindor hits when they're at home. So they're playing Miami and San Diego, which we'll talk about San Diego a little bit later in the episode. San Diego has not been too hot. So.
True. That's true. All right. Good pick. So I guess I get the wraparound, right? Is that
yeah, go for it. You got 2 picks in a row. Both your picks.
All right. So for my, I guess I'll start in the AL. For my AL pick, I'm going to take Masataka Yoshida from the Boston Red Sox. He has looked very, very good so far. I believe this week it looks like they are playing the Tigers and they are playing the Rays. So hopefully he'll be able to get a few definitely out, both on the road. So Detroit's going to be a little bit more difficult to hit home runs, even though they did bring in the fences a little bit. But Tampa, I'm hoping that the Red Sox kind of find their footing offensively, and Masataka Yoshida is probably going to be the engine of that offense. So I hope that he hits a couple dingers.
Okay.
As for my NL pick, I'm simply going with a guy that's due. A guy that's more than due, as a matter of fact. Manny Machado of the San Diego Padres. Yet to hit a home run this season, but so far he's looked pretty good at the plate. I'm not going to say that he looks bad. They play the Braves, who they're playing right now, who they just finished playing, my apologies, at the time of this recording. And, like Alex mentioned, they play the Mets later this week. I feel pretty good. Manny is due. It's that simple.
Okay.
He's due.
I like it. Yeah, the Padres not been playing great. So you have Manny Machado and Masataka Yoshida.
Yes, I do.
I like it. I like both those picks. I don't think either of them are going to homer, though. So that's just more of a
You said that about Yandy Diaz.
Yeah, that's just more of a problem. So for my AL pick, I'm going to go to the AL. I'm in between a couple guys, you know?
Okay.
Very familiar spot for me.
So who'd you pick? So who'd you pick for the?
I'm gonna go with Randy Arozarena.
Randy, okay.
The Rays. We're also gonna talk about them in a couple minutes. Actually, we'll start talking about them right now. So Randy Arozarena is my second pick. The Rays are 6-0. The Rays have not lost a game yet, and they have won every game pretty comfortably. There was one game against the Nationals where they won because of like ninth inning home runs. Like they took the lead in the ninth inning, and it was close up until then. But once they got the lead, it was pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
The Rays are the only undefeated team left.
Crazy.
And it's such a Rays thing. Like, why am I not shocked? The Rays always find a way to just be a better team than everyone else. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just shock everyone. They always shock everyone. They always find a way. It's incredible. Granted, they have only played the Tigers and the Nationals, who are two of probably the worst teams in baseball. Like they beat the Nationals 10-6, which was the close game. That was the game where I believe they scored a lot in the ninth inning. I could be wrong. Yeah. Bottom of the eighth, Randy Arozarena double. Top ninth, a Luke Raley home run, who he hit 2 home runs in a game earlier this week. It was a very Rays National series because, the Nationals are just not a good team. And they won 7-2 yesterday as well.
Yeah, totally. And let it be known, by the way, the Rays have what could be one of the best starts to their season potentially in franchise history. As Alex mentioned, they're already 6-0, and they're looking at the next series, which is they play Oakland at home in the Trop, and then they get the Red Sox in the Trop for the next 7 games. So we could be talking about this team maybe starting out like 13-0 because they don't really get challenged so far that we have seen until the Blue Jays until they actually go to Toronto to play the Blue Jays on April 14th, which is a Friday. So, Tampa, lock in, have some fun. You guys could have one of the best starts to the season of all time, honestly.
Yeah, and we haven't even mentioned their pitching. I think a big part of why this team is playing so well, yes, their hitting has been really good, but they've been playing bad teams. Their pitching's been lights out too. Shane McClanahan, in 2 games started, pitched 12 innings, 12 strikeouts. Jeffrey Springs had that outing last weekend where he threw 6 no-hit innings. Just their pitching staff is a lot better than people think, and that's with Tyler Glasnow not playing right now.
Yeah.
And then their bullpen, how many guys in there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 guys. 5 out of the 8 guys in their bullpen have a 0 ERA. Like through the first 6 games of the season.
Yeah.
But even then, some of them have 3 outings, 2 outings.
Yeah, but look at the teams that they're playing against.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing. When you say they start 6-0, you're like, oh yeah, wow, Rays. How are they starting 6-0? They played the Tigers and the Nationals.
Right.
Is that much to brag about?
Absolutely not. But it is still baseball. Anyone can win on any given day, so you do have to give credit where credit's due. Rays are 6-0.
And they are getting it done. Like, they had the late game heroics. They had the 8th, 9th inning taking the lead. Like, it's not like they were just winning every game 10-1, you know? Yeah, so they were still having to compete.
I'm really enjoying the Randy home run celebration, which I believe we've seen a couple of times, where he literally, before rounding third, we've seen Tatis do the little
stutter
step.
The
stutter step. We've seen Acuna do like the skip sort of. And Randy, instead of continuing his motion, he stands still before touching third base and just crosses his arms and just sits there.
I love
that. That might be the coldest thing I've ever seen on a baseball field.
Oh, I love it.
It's absolutely amazing. The Rays are going to be fun to watch, whether or not they're in it. I mean, Wander, I can go on about him. Looking to have a full healthy season this year, and so far he's showing that it's well worth it to be invested in him if you're the Tampa Bay Rays organization, because he looks good. He looks good right now. He's batting .417 with a .251 OPS plus. Solid through 6 games. Again, not playing the best of competition, but still looks really, really good on the resume and looks like a very good move for the Rays to keep him under contract for as long as they have.
Yeah, going back to Randy, he's just one of those players that you want on your team. He knows when to be flashy and how to be. He knows when to be flashy and how to be flashy. He's just good at making his presence felt by making those moments even more electric with his reactions.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's less of him screaming and yelling and excitement and more of just cold.
The opposite.
Like, I'm going to keep my composure, which is going to make it 10 times more electric than it already is.
Which we saw in the WBC, and it was so much fun, and I'm happy that Randy is carrying it over into now the MLB, because as much as we've seen this narrative of let the kids play, you know, let everyone have fun, who cares about bat flipping and yelling after strikeouts type of thing. The fact that Randy is doing the opposite, right? He's not getting in your face, he's not yelling, he's not bat flipping, he's not screaming. But it somehow means even more than if you were to bat flip and do all of the Acuna celebrations or, you know, taunt the pitcher or the opposing team. It somehow means more, and that, to me, is absolutely amazing. Congratulations, Randy Rosarina. You're a lot of fun.
Another guy on the Rays who might have a better season than anyone might have anticipated just because his last season was not great at all, Jose Siri. Mm-hmm. Just, you know, going based on early, you know, maybe overreactions, yes, but like we said, they've been playing bad teams, but I still think he was playing worse than this against those bad teams last season. So far, in 5 games, he's batting .333. He's got 2 homers, 8 RBIs, a steal. Jose Siri, and I've seen a bunch of plays from Jose Siri this season already. And he's already 10 times more fun to watch than he was last season. Just because, you know, he's playing better already. And I know it's 5 games in, but Jose Siri certainly has been a big part of the Rays' hot start so far this season.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody on the Rays is a lot of fun. Jose Siri is just another guy that adds to it. And I personally like it. It's a lot of fun to watch them play. Even though I will admit I watched I think they played 3 games against the Nationals.
Yeah.
Because I watched almost all 3 games.
Yeah, 3 against Tigers, 3 against the Nationals.
Like, they're just so much fun to watch. You know, again, congratulations, Rays.
Just congratulate them.
Can they go 162-0?
No.
How sure are you of that? They've yet to prove you wrong.
You want to? They're not going 162. I was gonna say you want to make a bet, but that'd be a stupid bet. I'm not going to do that to you.
Fair enough.
Do you think the Rays are going to go 162-0?
All signs are pointing to that they can. They're 6-0. They've yet to lose.
They've played the Nationals and the Athletics.
What's the math on it? Timeout.
What do you mean, what's the math on it? They're
I'm gonna
6
go-
and
no,
0.
no,
If
no,
they
no,
keep
no.
pace, they're 162 and 0.
They just need to go 6-0 27 times in a row.
Yeah, it's not happening.
You sure?
Yes. Yes, I'm pretty sure. I'm fairly certain that's not gonna happen.
All right,
but yeah, either way, the Rays have been fun.
Yeah.
Luke Raley was a guy who he had a couple homers in a game, like I mentioned. He had 2 home runs in one game. He's got 3 homers on the season. He's batting .300. The worst performer in this Rays lineup is Francisco Mejia, but he's their catcher, so who cares? Francisco Mejia and that's really it.
Yeah,
Francisco
whatever.
Mejia, but who cares? And Christian Bethancourt. They're 2 catchers. Bethancourt has had 10 plate appearances. He's batting 0. Zeros across the board. Hasn't even gotten on base.
Oh, he has a walk.
I take that back. He has 1 walk. But Francisco Mejia also not batting great. But that's, it's the catcher position. They're not a team that has those big, heavy-hitting catchers like JT Realmuto, Adley Rutschman, all that.
The far and few between.
Yeah. So, good job, Rays.
Good job, Rays. Good job, Rays.
Do we want to move on to the other Florida team and something that one of their players did this past week?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and get right into it.
So, earlier this week, on Tuesday, none other than South Beach Sandy Alcantara, however you want to say it, threw a complete game shutout against the Minnesota Twins the day after the Marlins lost 11-2 against the same Twins team. Sandy Alcantara went out there and avenged his team.
Yeah.
Sandy went, obviously, 9 innings pitched, threw a complete game shutout, 3 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, in a game that lasted just an hour and 57 minutes long.
A sub 2 hour complete game shutout from the unanimous Cy Young winner, I think was probably, I don't want to say expected, but I would have, honestly going into this year, I would have told you a complete game shutout from Sandy is inevitable, but not under 2 hours. That's just absolutely insane. Good job, Sandy, because it was just one of the most dominating performances I think I've seen on a mound in a long time.
He's dominant. I'm first of all, I would say that the under 2 hour was definitely heavily based on the fact that the Marlins also only had 3 hits in this game, and one of them just happened to be an Avasail Garcia solo home run. They won the game 1-0.
One of those balls got out.
No, I agree. I'm saying, but I think the sub 2 hour definitely came from the fact that the Marlins also didn't really hit either.
Totally.
So I still think without the pitch clock, this game would have easily been 2 hours, 20 minutes, somewhere around there. So I think the pitch clock definitely took time off this game. Do you smell that, by the way? You smell?
What's that? What do you smell?
Smells like back-to-back Cy Youngs cooking up for Sandy Alcantara.
Oh, yeah. It is in the air.
I mean...
The rumors are true.
The guy already leads MLB in innings pitched through 2 starts. But still, 14 and 2/3 innings pitched through 2 starts? He's averaging, 7 1/3 innings?
Something like that.
That's pretty good.
I think the most impressive part about this complete game shutout from Sandy is how much weak contact he produced.
Yeah,
throughout
only
the
5.
entire game. 5 strikeouts to 1 walk, by the way, and looked really, really good. When he wanted to get the pitch that would get a ground ball or a weak pop fly, he got it, and it seemed like although the players on the Marlins, on the Twins were able to adjust, they couldn't figure it out. They were just able to stop swinging at one pitch, but then they'll swing at another ground ball pitch. Like, Sandy just put on an absolute clinic, reminded everybody that, yes, the Marlins might be a little bit irrelevant right now. However, there's no reason as to why you should not be watching the Sandy Alcantara start.
Yeah, they handed the Twins their first loss of the season, too. The day after, they put up 11 runs on this team, and it's just like, wow, Sandy Alcantara is that guy.
It's such a great reset.
No matter how hot your team is, Sandy's going to come in and just dominate you, no matter what. And yeah, like you said, it's just such a good reset. The Marlins could have a horrible day before. Sandy's coming on the mound the next day. They're going to have a good day. because Sandy's not going out there and giving up 5-6 runs. That's just not happening with Sandy.
Yep.
By the way, it's also his 8th complete game since 2021, which is by far the most in baseball.
Just amazing.
It's his 10th complete game of his career and his 4th complete game shutout of his career. The guy's dominant. Guy's dominant. It feels like a matter of time until he wins his next Cy Young award, which I'm very excited to watch Sandy Alcantara the rest of the season.
I mean, if he genuinely wants to go for a back-to-back Cy Young win, then this is a great start to his rerun for winning the award. As of right now, I think I can confidently say that he would have my vote in the National League.
Well, yeah, we are 2 starts in.
Yeah, we're 2 starts in.
No, it's a good start. It's a good start to the season.
If you want to win the award, you can't just be good for half the season.
Well, he's coming out firing.
You got to come out swinging. You got to come out firing, and that's exactly what he did. Again, great job, Sandy. Great job, Sandy.
South Beach Sandy.
Putting
always
the
ride
boys down south.
Always ride with the boys down south.
Always ride with the boys down south. And I mean,
the Marlins also won the next game because of Jesus Luzardo, who I also feel like needs to be talked about, because Jesus Luzardo had a great first start against the Mets, and then in his second start, he threw 7 innings with just 1 earned run, 5 hits, and 10 strikeouts to only 1 walk. Yeah. Jesus Luzardo, as much as we love Sandy Alcantara, and
looks just as good.
Luzardo's up there. Luzardo is 10 Ks in 7 innings, only 1 earned run, 1 walk. I mean, that's incredible. He's given up, I think 1 earned run all season. I think that was his 1 earned run all season. He's looking really, really good. This Marlins pitching staff is certainly not one to mess with. I know the Twins scored 11 runs off them, but that was the Johnny Cueto game, who Johnny Cueto is also now on the IL for the Marlins. Something with his shoulder or his arm. He looked bad in his first start, so they put him on the IL, the classic.
He was hurt.
Yeah. Oh, Freddie Freeman. We should have prefaced this before the episode started. We do have the Dodgers Diamondbacks game on.
Yes, we do.
He's soaring over 1.5 total bases, by the way. So, anyway, back to that. Speaking of teams playing bad, the Minnesota... Wait, I take that back. Not the Minnesota
Twins.
The New York Mets.
The New York Mets.
What's going on, Mets?
How's it going, Mets?
I could tell... I could tell you how it's going. I'm not the New York Mets, and I can tell you how it's going. It's going bad. The New York Mets were swept by the Milwaukee Brewers this past week. In the first game of the series, the Brewers head over to Milwaukee, and the Brewers absolutely come out firing. It's against Cookie Carrasco. They just start hitting. And they quite frankly, did not stop hitting.
They started hitting, and they started running.
Yes.
Kept running on Carrasco and Narvaez, which I had, going into the season, had thought that if there were going to be any stolen base amount, like, higher against one team than another, I would have guessed the Mets just because of how slow all their starting pitching works. And it seems like Omar Narvaez does not have the greatest defensive arm, which I thought was interesting. Because I will admit to you, I don't pay much attention to Omar Narvaez until he came to the Mets.
Yeah, he was a Brewer last season.
He was a Brewer.
So it's kind of full circle. And the Brewers took full advantage. They know what Omar Narvaez is like. They kind of use that to their advantage.
For sure. The
Brewers are just... They came in. It was their home opener, I believe. And we should mention in this game, Bryce Charang hit his first home run of his career. So good for him. And it was a grand slam. Yeah. Guy's an absolute stud. He's been playing amazing so far for them this season. He's certainly he's a guy that you might be wanting to pick up in fantasy, because I'm sure not too many people drafted him, and he's been hot. He's been hot to start the year.
Yeah. This lineup, honestly, that the Brewers rolled out, even just for the first game, which they won 10-0. By the way, I don't know if we even mentioned that.
I did.
Yet.
10-0.
Yeah, but they won 10-0. They rolled out a lineup that you have all of the established MLB guys in the 1 through 5. You have your Christian Yelich, your Jesse Winker, who has a fresh start, and he's looking okay so far. Willy Adames, former Rays menace. Rowdy Tellez, the most brewer. William Contreras, guy included in the Sean Murphy deal, 3-team, blah, 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 blah. And then you get to all these young guys and former boy down south, Brian Anderson, which you just have to root for, obviously. If he's
been good, too.
Former boy down south. Where you get Garrett Mitchell, who has looked solid. Brian Anderson has looked good. Bryce Terang and Joey Weimer, who... Weimer, however...
No, it's Weimer. I just think Wiener is funny.
Yes, I agree with you. Which, Alex can attest to this. I had said when he got called up, if there's one guy to look out for, it would be this guy, both in fantasy and genuinely on the diamond, because he looks really, really good, has all the utility, and he proved me right this series. He went off, as well as all of the other younger rookie guys. They just all went off.
Yeah, that's a big part of this team is the rookies.
Yep.
It's a good mix, I'd say. By the way, Luke Voigt has a steal on the season. I think that needs to be mentioned. Big part of this team, Luke Voigt. But yeah, it's those young guys like Garrett Mitchell, who's batting .300, Bryce Terang, who's batting .313, Joey Wiener, who's batting .353. Just the young guys are carrying this team. Not to mention Jesse Winker's batting .333. He's out of Seattle. He's gonna be good this season. I think people need to start remembering that. We've been saying it since before this. Since he got traded, we've been saying it. This team is going to be better than we thought they would if they continue to play like this, especially with how the Cardinals have started. The Cardinals have started horrible. They just started bad. I don't know what else to say. The argument you can make, though, I know that the Brewers beat the Mets, but the Cardinals have had to play the Blue Jays, who are a very good team, and the Braves, who are also a very, very good team. 2 World Series favorites going into this season. So, for sure, obviously, everything will level out. Every team plays every team this year. Baseball's super exciting and fun. As for the Milwaukee Brewers, let's not forget that I just also want to shine some light. I know that it's a little bit early, and if you have not been able to watch any Milwaukee Brewers games, please do, because it is more than entertaining. Garrett Mitchell in center field is one of my favorite sights, just because he does have Yelich in left, and he usually has Joey Weimer now in right field. And the lineup, like the defensive positioning that their coaching staff is rolling out, and having them just always, it feels like they're just always right where the fly ball needs, like where the fly ball is going, or where that ball in the gap is going to go that prevents a triple. It only leaves it at a double type of thing. Everything is just clicking right now for the Brewers. And this lineup is one of those lineups that it looks like it could last a full season, because you have all the guys who have done it before. You have Yelich, who won an MVP before. Jesse Winker, 2 years removed from an All-Star appearance. Willy Adames. Honestly, when the Rays traded him to the Brewers, everyone was like, what the hell are they doing? Rowdy Tellez, Brewer. No other way to put it. William Contreras. Everyone was blown away that he was not traded somewhere else, because he is a great catcher. And then you have these rookies in Brian Anderson, former boy down south. Well, Brian Anderson's not a rookie.
I know. I said and Brian Anderson. Not including him with the rookie.
I thought you said
I'm splitting the lineup into half.
I thought you said like Brian Anderson. That's my fault.
I said end. But
not
definitely the young guys and former boy down south, Brian Anderson, who they seem to be clicking really well. Still don't know why the Marlins traded him away for essentially nothing, but Brian Anderson doing great, and the rookies just doing great.
I think he was a free agent.
I thought it was a trade, but my apologies if I'm wrong. Still, if you're the boys down south, if you are the Miami Marlins,
he was a free agent.
You would even look to keep him, but I don't know why they didn't even want to.
He was injured the last few seasons. He didn't play much. I see why they didn't keep him, but obviously it's not working out because he's playing really, really good for Milwaukee in these first few games. And again, kind of early, so we can't say too much. Garrett Mitchell hit a walk-off in Game 3 against the Mets, walk-off homer. In Game 2, Max Scherzer, they took him back-to-back-to-back, Rowdy Tellez, Brian Anderson, and Garrett Mitchell. And then the next inning, Brian Anderson and Garrett Mitchell went back-to-back again. So just such a fun series for the Brewers. And from the Mets' perspective, it was the exact opposite. You go in there and you don't score at all the first two games. Max Scherzer gets beat up, which is not something you want to see. You still don't have Justin Verlander. And in Game 3, Pete Alonso hits 2 home runs.
Two two-run home runs.
Two two-run home runs. Francisco Lindor has 2 RBIs, and you still wind up losing the game. So when your two best players, one's going 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, and the other one's going whatever with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs, and you're still losing that game, that's when you start to get really frustrated. And I know it's early in the season, but the Mets it doesn't matter. For the Mets, it does not matter when in the season it is. They shouldn't be losing those kind of games in their eyes. Yeah. So I see how it's very frustrating. It's a good thing that they're coming back, though, to play Corbin Carroll. It's a good thing they're coming back, though, to play the Marlins. And then I'm not sure who they played next week. I can check really, really fast. It looks like McCarthy, by the way. Next week they're playing the Padres, who have started out cold. So the Mets certainly do have a path where they can pick up some more wins and make up for this 3-4 start that they've got going so far.
Yeah, for sure. And let it be known that the walk-off that the Mets gave up was off of Adam Ottavino and not David Robertson, who I believe you thought was going to be the closer going into the season. I was more leaning...
Well, he should.
I was more leaning towards Adam Ottavino, and based off of just one outing, not the best idea. But like Alex said, early in the season, just a few more things about the Mets. They got outscored 26-6 over 3 games. Looked horrible. Over the course of that 3-game series, they left 21 runners on base and went 3 for 18 with runners in scoring position. Over a series, no matter what team you are, you don't want to read those numbers.
Oh,
you just simply don't. The Mets need to kind of straighten something out with their offense. I don't know if this is a case of, like the whole lineup's good, I don't need to do my part, or it's just slow start from the Mets, because honestly, I would have loved to have been talking about them in the same breath of the Rays, saying, hey, they're undefeated, they're 6-0, they're 7-0, going into their home opener type of thing. But sadly, it's not that year for the Mets. Also, the first instance that they've really missed out on not having Edwin Diaz, which get well soon, Edwin Diaz. He'll be at the home opener of the day of this recording on the 7th, which is good, and hopefully he gets well.
Yeah, I mean, you could say it's good, but he's not playing anytime soon.
Yeah, he's not playing anytime soon, but that was definitely, that last game against the Brewers was the first time that, honestly, the Mets needed Edwin Diaz and didn't have him.
Yeah, the Mets have 5 home runs this season. 3 of them are from Pete Alonso. It's just...
The MVP candidacy begins.
Just, they've started out really cold. No one's batting over 300, which, like, yes, 300's a lot, but, like, when you're this early into the season, it's not, like, that outlandish to say that, like, you have a couple guys batting 300. I think most teams do at this point. This team does not. They've gotten blanked a lot in the last couple games. They didn't even score in the first 2 games of the series. If you're the Mets, you're looking to take advantage of the Marlins this weekend, knowing that Sandy Alcantara is not pitching.
Yeah,
that's what you need. If you're a Mets fan, you have to have that in your head that we're not going to see Sandy Alcantara and we're not going to see Jesus Luzardo, because both of those guys started the last 2 games for them.
No Johnny Cueto.
And they lost Johnny Cueto. You have to take advantage of this weakened Marlins starting. You're not hitting the 2 major starters that the Marlins have. You're still hitting good starters, but you're not hitting the two major ones.
Right.
So you got to take advantage of it.
Completely agree with you.
And if they don't, then there's going to be a serious problem.
This is, I think, playing the Marlins again is a perfect way to get back on track to then go play San Diego, who they're obviously one of the premier teams in baseball, not just in the National League. So if you get on track with beating up a little bit on the Marlins, which, let's go boys down south, I think that we can both say that in confidence. But if they can get on track by beating them a couple of times and really getting their offense going, rolling into that Padres series is going to feel flawless, especially because there's no travel. They're at home still.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a big factor. Let's see what the Mets do.
Get settled a little bit. Get settled.
Not too settled, though. Not too settled.
Well, don't get comfortable. Settled and comfortable are different.
I would never
get settled as in, like, we're we're feeling good. Now we're in the season. Let's play good. Comfortable is like, oh, we're gonna win the division.
We're fine.
Don't get comfortable, Mets.
Which the last division to get comfortable.
Yeah,
in.
if you know the Mets, you know that there is no point in time in which the Mets can get comfortable with winning the division. Unless they clinch it, they cannot get comfortable.
That's true.
But yeah. So do we want to move over to some rookie talk?
Yeah, sure.
Some rookie talk. So, would you like to introduce... This is basically, we're just going to be talking about what some rookies did, just some exciting rookies. We've already talked about Garrett Mitchell, who was one major rookie. We've kind of told you all about him at this point. But there are some more rookies in the league who have been doing stuff recently. So, Lewis, you want to tell us about some of them?
Yeah, so obviously on my list over here, Garrett Mitchell was the first guy that I had written down, but we already touched on him. Next guy that we'll jump into, Yankee guy, Anthony Volpe. Off to a very slow start. However, his on-base percentage, .722 at the time of this recording, looks really good. The kid is understanding the strike zone.
A lot of walks.
And it's just a matter of time before he figures out that bat-to-ball sort of swing that we know that he has, that we saw throughout the minor leagues over the past few years. And I think he'll be okay. And we've seen it from him at every level, from low A ball all the way up to double A and triple A last season. He gets a slow start. And that's okay.
Wait,
that's allowed to happen.
You say his on-base percentage was what?
.722.
No, his on-base percentage is .333.
Ooh, my apologies.
.720. I was like, .722 doesn't make sense.
I remember I had the number written down.
His OPS is like 5-something, 6-something. It's 506, 507, something like that.
Oh, I read the wrong thing. Okay, my apologies.
I was going to say 722 does not sound right. He's walked a couple times, but 722 does not sound right.
Sorry, read the wrong thing. Throw that out the window. But still, he has walked a few times. And like I said, he starts out slow at every league that he's played in so far. It's only a matter of time before it comes around in the big leagues. And the Yankees are giving him basically complete control over what he does, which I think is the perfect situation. Speaking of perfect situations, Jordan Walker, St. Louis Cardinals, he's coming out of the gate firing. He's looking very good. He just had his first MLB home run on the 5th. Clap it up for Jordan Walker.
You know who that home run was off of?
Who?
Packy Naughton. Packy Naughton. What a name.
Yeah.
Packy Naughton.
Pat Norton.
Yep. What did you just...
Packy Norton.
Naughton.
Whatever. So, I do want to say, though, very interesting call from the St. Louis Cardinals broadcast booth on the home run. They're calling Jordan Walker home runs J-bombs.
I don't like that.
Really? I thought that you would like that because I don't like that either.
J-bomb? No.
J-bomb, it's
has something to do with his name.
That is.
I get the J is part of his name.
Right.
I don't know. Like you know how like Alex Rodriguez, an A-bomb for A-Rod? Like what a J-bomb for Jordan Walker. Like, I don't know. I don't like it.
Well, no. It's not so much a radio call.
No, I know, but
it's
still, there's a J-bomb.
Jordan Walker went deep, a J-bomb. Like,
yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it too much either, but gotta break it in. Gotta break it in. Let's see what...
Right now, initial reaction does not roll off the tongue.
Does not roll off
J-bomb.
the tongue. Yep.
It feels forced.
I agree. As for another rookie, Corbin Carroll, okay. He's looked okay so far. He looks a lot more comfortable at the plate, especially since he got a few games up last year in the 2022 season with the big league club. He's played all 3 outfield slots so far. He's looked good defensively. All he needs to figure out is how to take a few more walks and sort of not give your full swing. I don't know how to best describe that, because obviously when you want to swing, you want to hit the ball as hard as possible, get it in the gap and everything. But Corbin Carroll is the fastest player in baseball, so he doesn't need the power contact. He doesn't need 110 off the bat. Rip it 74 miles an hour right down the third base line, and guess what? You have an easy double, Corbin Carroll. We know how fast you are. So if he figures that out and adjusts a little bit, then he's solid. That's the way that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, he's still not doing bad at all, though. He had his first home run this week.
He did. Of the 2023 season.
Yeah. 2023, not career, just First home run of the year. He's still batting .261, but like you said, no walks. It's just kind of
just needs to figure out when to take the
that
walks.
vision. Yeah, yep. Vision.
Two more for me, and then we can move on. How's that?
Well, I want to elaborate on some. You can rattle some off, but we'll talk about some more
Miguel Vargas of the Dodgers. Everyone thought that, what's his name? The Dodgers manager?
Dave Roberts.
Everyone thought that Dave Roberts was crazy for having Miguel Vargas stand in the box and just watch pitches go down the middle when he had it was some sort of hand injury that prevented him from swinging the bat. However, it's paid off because he has a .722 on base percentage with 9 walks, which means that standing in the box and not swinging throughout all of spring training helped him. He got a very good feel for what the zone is, for how pitchers were planning to pitch him before it was found out that he couldn't swing a bat. And he looks really good so far. He's helping that Dodgers lineup move the chains, and they look scary. Right now they are winning 5-2 against the Diamondbacks. The lineup will be good with the Dodgers. We know that. They have some of the biggest and best names in baseball. But having a guy like Miguel Vargas who can just push the inning one more at bat is extremely important.
Yeah, Miguel Vargas was like you said, they told him not to swing during pretty much all of spring training, and it's just I love the storyline that it's coming to pay off because now he leads the league in walks. Yeah. And he's just an on-base machine in terms of walks. Yeah. And I think that just goes full circle, and I absolutely love it. Oh my God. And the Dodgers are no longer winning 5-2, by the way.
I've jinxed it. Oh, wait, no, it's foul. It's foul.
Oh, okay. I take it back. They still are winning 5-2. It looked like someone just had a 3-run homer. But yeah, Miguel Vargas, certainly a rookie that I feel like not people had on their radar, but not enough. Like he was one of the further away ones.
Yeah, for sure.
But like keep your eye out for him if he can continue to get on base. If he can continue to get on base.
You want to talk about a top 10 prospect? I got you.
I'm surprised you saved this one for last.
Grayson Rodriguez of the Baltimore Orioles.
I'm surprised.
He looked really, really good. Solid and a healthy, outing. He went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 5 Ks against a pretty good Texas Rangers lineup against Jacob deGrom. Grayson Rodriguez making his major league debut in his home state of Texas. Super proud of Grayson Rodriguez for finally being able to get over that last hump. He got healthy. I thought that they were going to give him rehab starts and kind of work him back up to speed. They threw him right into the fire. They said, it's time to go. We're done playing around. This team needs wins, and this team needs wins now. And Grayson Rodriguez got called up and pitched that same day and looked good. And I do want to say that maybe he had a little bit of the yips. It's your MLB debut as a top 10 pitcher. So you're a little bit nervous because I think that this season we could see Grayson Rodriguez damn near, if you don't include these first couple of starts, almost average like 9-10 strikeouts a game because he has such good stuff. It's just a matter of him kind of working in the nerves and learning how major league hitters compare to AAA hitters, and he'll figure it out.
Yips is a very big word, by the way. For the first start of his career, telling him he has the yips is kind of crazy.
Nerves.
There you go, nerves. Yip, because yips is like...
Yips is permanent.
Yeah, that's like bad.
No.
That's like Altuve 2020 playoffs type thing.
I don't mean to wish that upon Grayson Rodriguez. I'm just saying that he looked comfortable. He looked like he was having fun and just happy to be there. But all of his stuff that I knew from the minors was not there.
I also want to say, the fact that he might have, the nerves might have been kicking in because he was throwing against Jacob deGrom on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
He was sharing a mound with Jacob deGrom. And, by the way, deGrom did not replicate his opening day start.
Thank God.
He was dominant.
Yeah.
6 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts,
K's.
2 walks, only 1 earned run. It was the Jacob deGrom that we know. Because opening day was not the Jacob deGrom that we knew. And this was the Jacob deGrom we knew, and they just threw Grayson Rodriguez. They were like, yeah, Grayson Rodriguez, your first MLB start. You know who's on the other side? Jacob deGrom. Yeah, go figure it out.
Hey, and deGrom's not even the one that has to be in the box. I think, me personally, I would even be a little bit nervous if I was told, hey, you got to strike out Marcus Semien and Corey Seager back-to-back. The lineup is good. The Rangers lineup is very good, and I think Grayson Rodriguez looked very, very good considering that it could have been an absolute horror show in Texas that day.
Could you imagine you're pitching against Jacob deGrom and you end an inning and you go into the dugout, the next inning starts, and he just strikes out all 3 batters, and you're already up going to the next inning. And it's been like 3 minutes. And you're like, what is going on?
And that's more than possible when any pitcher pitches against Jacob deGrom.
That's what I'm saying. But then you got this guy in his first big league start. I mean, that's got to be like just such an odd feeling, just seeing a guy, like the guy you're going against, just dominate the entire time.
And if there's
that plays a big role in it.
Yeah, and if there was anybody who I would have wanted to see pitch against each other, a pitcher's duel, it would have been Jacob deGrom and Grayson Rodriguez when you talked about this matchup, just because Grayson Rodriguez has nearly the same repertoire that Jacob deGrom has on the mound, which is a lot of fun. And you look at deGrom, the guy who could have won an MVP a few years ago, who's won, 3 Cy Youngs?
2.
Won 2 Cy Youngs.
I think 2.
Or 3, whatever it is. He's won more than 1 Cy Young, and he's looked dominant doing it. Where Grayson Rodriguez, his whole career so far, especially his build-up into a top 10 prospect in the big leagues, in baseball, I should say, not the big leagues, we have heard people say he has power stuff. He will strike you out a bunch. This guy can win a Cy Young. You know, if the year of the pitcher ever rolls around again, then we could be talking about him winning an MVP type of thing. And you heard that throughout his minor league career. Now that his major league career is here, prove it to us, Grayson Rodriguez. I want more Grayson Rodriguez starts on my timeline. I want to watch all of his innings. He looks amazing.
Yeah. And we can't even put past the fact that he only gave up 2 runs. It's not like he gave up the same amount of runs as deGrom. I mean, deGrom gave up 1 earned, but 2 runs in general.
Yeah.
He just, only went 5 innings. I agree with everything you said. He has the stuff. And when you said pitcher's duel earlier, I understood what you said by like pitcher's duel, like on paper, like when you see like the 2 names. Mm-hmm. This game wasn't a pitching duel.
Oh, it was so one-sided.
Yeah, it wasn't a pitcher's duel.
Not at all, but
it was a pitcher's duel because of the names, but not like what actually, like it wasn't like
when they play in Camden Yards later this season. I think we could be talking about a legitimate pitcher's duel.
Maybe we'll see. I mean, if they're going against each other,
up. Yeah,
that would be fun though.
That would be fun.
A rematch. I'm interested to see how Grayson Rodriguez does in his next start. It would be against the. Let me figure out who the O's are playing. So it wouldn't be this weekend. It would be right because he pitched on Tuesday, so his next start would be on Monday. If they play on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, one of those days.
It's currently lined up for him to start against whoever they play. The Nationals, maybe? It's either the Yankees or the Nationals.
That'll be fun.
He might start on Sunday. That's a possibility.
Maybe.
Or it's either Sunday or Tuesday, so Yankees or Nationals. So I like the idea of him going against the Nationals, kind of a worse team. Just to kind of get you, like now you've started against this big bad Rangers team who they're 4-2. They've started out really, really well. You start your career against a team like that, and then you kind of come back down to earth and you play a team like the Washington Nationals, who I'm very confident that Grayson Rodriguez could probably dominate the Washington Nationals lineup, even in just his second start of his career.
I feel like when you talk about Grayson Rodriguez, all you need, like, you just need that one extra pitcher to really call it a great pitcher's duel. Like, give me a Mackenzie Gore versus Grayson Rodriguez.
Josiah Gray?
Josiah Gray. Mackenzie Gore, 2 guys who are almost opposites. Mackenzie Gore definitely has more strikeout stuff on the breaking ball, his curve ball type of thing, whereas Grayson Rodriguez could probably pump 100 miles an hour right by you and absolutely blow your socks off with how just strong of a pitcher he is. So it'll be fun to watch no matter who Grayson Rodriguez is facing. I'm looking forward to it. Is that fair?
No, not fair at all.
All right, where do you want to go next?
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Diamondbacks, because the Diamondbacks have started pretty good this season. Yes, they're losing this game that we're watching right now against the Dodgers, and, even then, there's still time in this game, so we'll see if maybe that changes before this episode ends. But the Diamondbacks have started off really well. They're 3-3, right?
At the time of recording this, this instant.
Right now, they're 3-3. Obviously, when this comes out, they're either going to be 3-4 or 4-3 if they can come back. But I still think this is like a promising start for them. Because they've played two teams that people, on paper are better than them. The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. And they've taken 3 games from both of those teams combined. I think it's a really promising start. You got guys like Josh Rojas, who's come out and he's batting 300. You got a guy like Corbin Carroll, who we mentioned earlier, one of the fastest guys in baseball. And yes, he's not walking that much, but he's got 3 steals. He's doing his job. He's running as fast as he can at all times. It's just a lot of the guys on this in this lineup are contributing, and their bench is contributing a lot. Throughout their bench, you got Jose Herrera, their backup catcher. It is currently batting 286. Evan Longoria is batting 273. Nick Ahmed 333. It's a lot of good baseball from the Diamondbacks so far. I love the Snakes.
It's hard not to like the Snakes. It's hard not to like a bunch of these teams in all of baseball. Honestly, everybody just seems to have a lot of exciting talent. No matter where you look, and the Snakes are at the forefront of it.
I was going to say, I don't want to hear about the rest of the league right now. I want to hear your thoughts about the Snakes.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hear about any other teams.
Absolutely love the Snakes and what they're doing. Zach Gallen for Cy Young.
We didn't even talk about their pitching. Zach Gallen is looking very, very good so far. He had a bad start, but I'm still confident in Zach Gallen. Not for Cy Young, because I think that's still Sandy's spot. I can't take that from him. But Zach Gallen's definitely going to be good this season. Merrill Kelly also, he pitched tonight. Didn't look great. He looked decent in his first start, not great in his second start.
Yeah.
Mad Bum, I'm excited to see him get rocked every start this season.
The clown that he is. But best postseason pitcher
I don't not like Madison Bumgarner. I'm just saying he's probably going to get rocked in most of his starts, unfortunately. But, let's give it a round of applause for the Diamondbacks.
Round of applause.
What's on your mind, Lewis?
What's on my mind is, I think it's at the forefront of everybody's mind. What the hell are the Dodgers doing?
What are the Dodgers doing? They're winning.
Right now, they're winning 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th against the Diamondbacks at the time of recording this. And they're also 4-2 on the season, slowly moving to 5-2. And the guy who I want to really highlight on this Dodgers team is not the Mookie Betts, is not the Freddie Freeman, is not the Will Smith. None of those guys. Jason Hayward has 2 home runs in 10 plate appearances.
It's Hayward season.
What are we doing?
He's slugging 1,000.
The Dodgers, underneath Dodger Stadium, there has to be some sort of time machine or experimental lab where they bring in these random guys, who, honestly, I thought Jason Hayward would be out of baseball, would not have broken camp with the Dodgers, and he comes through, and it seems to be like he's part of the late game situations that Dave Roberts is going to use him in, and he's coming up pretty clutch so far. Sure, his only 2 hits are home runs, but that's the best type of hit that you could have.
There was a point in the offseason where we thought Jason Hayward was retired.
Yeah.
You can go back and look. There was definitely moments that I have said out loud, isn't Jason Hayward retired?
Hell of a career, Jason Hayward. I'm pretty sure was exactly what we were saying.
And now we're sitting here saying that
he's like the most crucial bench piece on the Dodgers. It's like, what?
I'll get my MLB home run tweets and I'll see Jason Hayward and I'm like, no.
That can't
no way.
And then I roll over and wake up.
yes, his only 2 hits have been home runs, but his OPS is 1.3. 1.300. You can't argue with that.
You can't deny
You simply can't argue with Jason Hayward.
There's got to be something going on in that Dodgers organization. The fact that they brought in Jason Hayward.
But at the same time...
And he's first off, he's part of their crucial late game plan. Dave Roberts has brought him in plenty of times. In 4 games so far, he has taken at-bats late in the game as a pinch hitter. And he comes in, and he sees the ball well. He looks pretty good. He's only struck out 1 time, so he's making contact with the ball. And he's gotten elevated enough on a couple to hit 2 homers. It's bizarre. There is something going on in LA.
We're doing Jason Hayward wrong. Because he is only 33 years old. I feel like we're acting like he's 43.
No, he is only 33. However, last we saw of him, he was batting .204.
Well, he's 33 and he's got 13 years in the majors. Is really what it is. Like he feels like he's been around forever.
Yeah, well, he came up in Atlanta at 20 years old, was an all-star. We've seen it all.
He's been working on fixing his swing a lot in the offseason. So, like, when you really think about it, this guy's still relatively young. Yeah, and if you can get his swing fixed up. It's literally just the case of the Dodgers having such good coaching, and they can turn any guy into a good hitter with the right coaching. And when you look at the other guys in this lineup, like the players, not just the coaches, you have Mookie Betts, you have JD Martinez. Those two guys are so big on swing mechanics that you know damn well they're sitting there in BP watching other people take BP and giving them tips as soon as they get out of the cage.
Yeah.
And
I strongly encourage anybody who has not yet discovered it or has not given it the time yet. Mookie Betts has a YouTube channel that he is vlogging on and posting just about once a week where he goes behind the scenes of what it's like to be in the Dodgers organization. And we're seeing exactly what Alex just said. He's coaching JD Martinez when he's in the cage.
Other way around.
I'm sorry?
Other way around. I've seen JD is doing a lot of coaching him.
JD is also doing a lot of coaching towards him, former teammates. They're both helping out the younger guys. He's showing Miguel Vargas how to take ground balls at second base during spring training practice sessions. He's talking to Freddie Freeman about how he can increase his contact rate because Mookie Betts knows it's just a numbers game after that ball hits the bat. It's a matter of how hard did you hit it and what's the launch angle, because then you know if it lands or not. Like, it's just so interesting to see that, and I strongly encourage anybody, after they're done watching the rest of this video, to go check out Mookie Betts' YouTube channel. Not sponsored.
We're not sponsored by Mookie Betts. That would be awesome, but we're not sponsored by Mookie Betts.
That would be cool.
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts. But Dodgers. Just Dodgers.
Which is interesting, because this Dodgers team was a one that we said might not win the division this year for, like, the first time in a while. It's actually looking like,
excluding 2021, yes.
But no. I mean in the sense of heading into the season, we're saying this team really might not win the division. Like, that's never really been a thought. Even in the previous years where the Padres have been really, really good, we've still been like, but the Dodgers are right there with them. Right. This season, we went into it saying we don't think the Dodgers are going to win. We think the Padres are almost 100% going to win this division. And now, coming out of the gate, they've completely proved us wrong. But, again, we are a week into the season. These are extreme overreactions. That does have to be prefaced. Who have the Dodgers played so far?
It's called being media.
The Dodgers have played
the Rockies.
And the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
So, it's a very similar Rays situation. They've been playing two not great teams, although, the Rockies put together a couple good games against them, so have the Diamondbacks, but they have been playing weaker teams. So, I'm interested to see who the Dodgers are playing this next upcoming week. It looks like they are playing I gotta scroll all the way down, because they're playing the Mets next week. Oh, wait, no, that's April 18th. Why am I on April 18th?
They play right now they're playing the Diamondbacks. Yes. Then they play the Giants in San Francisco. And then they welcome in the Chicago Cubs to Dodger Stadium.
So even then, nothing crazy. Not yet.
Nothing crazy.
I can't wait till the first Padres-Dodgers matchup. And I think Tatis will be back. Sorry. I think Tatis will be back for that matchup. He will not
be back.
No?
Nope. First... no, he will be back. My apologies.
If it's after April 20th.
Yeah. So, the first matchup is May 5th to May 7th, which is a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they play in Petco Park.
Yeah, Tatis will be back by then. That I'm excited for. So, full-strength Padres lineup, full-strength Dodgers lineup. I'm interested to see how it plays out this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Another thing I wanted to talk about... in terms of that Fernando Tatis situation, is something that happened yesterday in the minor leagues. So Tatis, we know, if you don't know, he was suspended last season for 80 games. due to PED suspension. He got shoulder surgery. He figured he might as well while he's out for the rest of the season because of the suspension, and he already didn't play that season because of another injury. So he's coming back this season. His suspension ends on April, I guess, 19th because he can play on the 20th, I believe. So until that happens, the Padres have him in AAA rehabbing. It's not really a rehab. It's more of just staying sharp for when you come to the major league team. Mm-hmm. And yesterday, I guess 2 days ago from when this is coming out, yesterday he hit a bomb.
Nuke.
Off a Giants AAA pitcher.
Yap.
Bat flipped, celebrated his entire way around the bases. You know, he did his thing.
The skip at third, which is so fun.
He was being Fernando Tatis Jr.
He certainly looked like
and that pitcher did not appreciate it. Because that pitcher took to Twitter after the game and said, yo, this guy shouldn't be celebrating. He's in AAA because he's a cheater, and he got suspended because of PEDs. And Tatis was like, you know what? I just have to get used to pitchers getting mad at me this season for that. Because they're just going to keep mentioning it, and I'm just going to learn to not care.
Yeah,
and I love it.
And let it be known, by the way, that pitcher had also put out tweets before people dug back and went through it. He put out tweets before saying, hey, if you don't want guys to cheat, just be better than them. So, like, you know, kind of not better. Practicing what you're preaching.
Yeah, he's not being better.
But whatever, it's a young guy. He wants to make it just as much as anybody else does. I understand
I don't think he's
frustration.
Young. From everything I read, I believe
he's probably not young, but
I believe he's been in AAA for about 6 or 7 years.
It's impressive. That's not easy to do.
That's hard to do.
It's not easy to do.
Like, I don't know.
Round of applause for this guy.
Yeah.
How do you sit there in the minors for that
round of a boo. Boo.
Well, no. You can't boo baseball. Can't boo baseball.
I'm not booing baseball. I'm booing whatever his name was.
We don't even know his name.
I'll find his name right now.
But just to remind everybody, Fernando Tatis Jr., last we saw of him was in 2021, where he was 22 years old. He's coming into the season as probably close to a 24-year-old, if not already over the age of 24. Yes, over the age of 24, just turned 24 about 3 months ago. Really interesting. I'm excited to watch Fernando Tatis Jr. play again. I think he's going to pick up exactly where he left off in that 2021 season, where even though he played 130 games, still led the National League in home runs with 42. He's just going to be a lot of fun. He's going to be so much fun, and I'm looking forward to it. Fernando, come back to baseball, because San Diego, honestly, I dare I even say, needs another star in their lineup. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it looks like that right now because the Padres are struggling so far this season. They are
kind of fish out of water.
They seem like fish out of water right now.
Yep, currently 3-4.
Yeah, they're 3
just got walked off by the Braves, and their whole lineup is not really performing to the ability that we thought that they could. As I mentioned earlier, I took Manny Machado in my weekly ding-dongs because Manny Machado doesn't have a home run yet. Juan Soto is like batting sub 200, which doesn't look good. Xander, yes, he's getting hits. Of course, the one day that I take him to get a hit, he doesn't get a hit.
Yeah, Xander,
but he's taking his walks.
Xander has been the bright spot in this lineup so far. He's the only one with, an above 300 batting average. And like I said earlier, this early in the season, you do kind of expect to see some guys with that. But no one's really come out of the gates hot. They did
offensively.
Well, yes, offensively. Their pitching has been pretty good depending on who you look at. A couple guys not so great, but majority. Yu Darvish has been great. Obviously, he's only started one game, but because they are running with a 6-man rotation right now.
Yeah.
It's Darvish, Snell, Nick Martinez, Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo, and Ryan Weathers. They're running with that 6-man rotation to start the season. But then you look back at their lineup, and it's just like they extended Jay Cronenworth 8 years or 7 years, $80 million.
Yeah, something like that.
Did not get him going. Cronenworth, he played good today, but overall it didn't really get him going. Like you said, Manny Machado doesn't have his first home run yet, which isn't the biggest deal, but you would like to see he's
Manny Machado.
He's Manny Machado, but I want to just in general, let's see him make some more noise. Juan Soto is kind of concerning, batting sub 200 to start the season. Hopefully, it's just a slow start.
What I'm most excited to see is what they do when Tatis does come back, because their roster is full right now, and they either have to DFA somebody, trade somebody, or send someone down, and
it's an easy fix.
They don't have too many options. My only thought was DFA and Rougned Odor, honestly.
Yeah, or you get rid of the 6-man rotation.
You could, but if it's working, why stop that? Because,
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's the same thing like defense wins championships, pitching wins games.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if they DFA Rougned Odor. Or send him to the minors or whatever. Just kind of see what happens. Obviously, he doesn't have any options, so they would have to DFA him, but
Or he could agree to be sent to the minors, but what bid leaguer is agreeing to that?
Well, yeah, you never know. Just in case, injuries. I wouldn't be surprised if Rougned Odor was in the minors for them. That's probably what they'll do, because Tatis is going to be playing right field for this team all year. Obviously, right now they have David Dahl in right field, which, by the way, we could say the Padres have started out slow. The one game that was electric, David Dahl pinch hit solo home run, and a Ha-Sung Kim walk-off solo home run back to back. Absolutely electric.
And just to talk a little bit about the pitch clock really quick, if you go onto the MLB's YouTube channel, they have the entire inning, which, yes, it's just 2 at-bats. I think it's like a total of 5 pitches or something. It's a 3.5-minute video.
Oh, yeah.
Last year,
crazy.
That's easily a 10-minute video.
Especially in the 9th inning with a team that they just tied it. Now the next batter's coming. That pitcher would have normally been taking at least, 45 seconds in between pitches. Got to recoup,
So that's our only pitch clock conversation that we're going to have on this episode. But really, really cool for baseball.
Yeah. The Padres, I hope this team gets it going. I hope it doesn't take until Fernando comes back. I hope Fernando can kind of come into this lineup while it's hot, so that if he does start to maybe, come out just a little slow, he still has that lineup around him that's hitting well, and they don't really have to worry about it as much. I'm worried about Juan Soto because you know how much I love Juan Soto. I am starting to get worried. After last season,
I think he'll be fine.
Not playing great. I'm not saying I don't think he'll be fine. I'm getting worried because I want to see him start playing well.
Yeah.
Because it feels like we haven't seen him play well in a long time. Like
we haven't seen him play like the Juan Soto we know him to be.
Yeah, even I would argue even before the trade last season, just not great. I want to see him just earn your money. You're a free agent after this season. Don't give teams. Or rather, even then, 2 years. But don't give teams a reason. Don't give teams a reason to not pay you more money. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, arbitration. What did he get in arbitration this year? $30 million or something? 20 million. Yeah, even 20. Then, that is a lot for arbitration. Give these teams reasons to pay you.
More than that.
Yeah, it baffles me that I think he'll heat up. He'll heat up
for sure. And speaking of teams that need to heat up, and players and everything that just kind of need to get back on track.
It's the biggest one.
The St. Louis Cardinals. What are we doing over here?
Not the biggest one.
No, not the biggest one. I thought we would save that for last. The best for last.
Oh, well, we talked about the Cardinals already a little bit.
Yeah, we did. But the main issue that we have seen so far this season from the Cardinals has, funny enough, not been the fact that they're missing Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols. The fact that Paul Goldschmidt is not performing as well as he did as an MVP season, which he still is performing just as well.
I was going to say, what?
It's the fact that there seems to be a little bit of disagreements between the manager of the Cardinals and center fielder Tyler Oneill. Just to give a little bit of context, Tyler Oneill was on... What's the matter?
Well, I don't think that's their main problem, but go on.
Definitely, I think it's a big issue.
Oh, it's for Clubhouse. Yeah. But go on.
Tyler Oneill was on second base when there was a single hit to the right side. It got through the infield, and Ronald Acuna Jr. came up firing.
Oh, my God. Why did that scare me?
And gunned out Tyler Oneill at the plate when they were playing the Braves earlier this week. And the manager had basically said that Tyler Oneill got gunned out because he wasn't hustling, he wasn't trying. He sort of felt like he deserved home more than earned it. And in baseball, you have to earn runs, especially against really good teams like the Braves. So that resulted in the manager benching Tyler Oneill, which, honestly, Bad move. Bad move. Because the game after, they just looked so lost. Missing an everyday starter that brings such an impact like Tyler Oneill does to the game is hard to deal with, and they wound up losing the next game as well, which just is not a good look for the Cardinals.
Well, I think the biggest issue that Tyler Oneill was having was the fact that their manager benched him during a press conference. Didn't tell him beforehand, didn't have that office chat of, hey, you should have ran harder today. That's where the whole problem stemmed from. And Tyler Oneill just felt really disrespected and really just embarrassed because his manager, instead of having an actual conversation with him and then going to the press to say it,
went at him.
Just goes at him during a press conference and doesn't have that conversation with him. He just didn't want it. And I completely understand Tyler Oneill being as upset as he was.
So I'm on team Tyler Oneill here because I do think that when you watch the video, he's not fully sprinting, but he's also not jogging. It's very much he's hustling type of thing, like trying to get into home. And it's just the fact that Ronald Acuna Jr. has one of the most powerful outfield arms in baseball, more than anything else. And the fact that he's throwing it to Sean Murphy, who's a great defensive catcher, it was just a perfect storm for the Cardinals manager to get mad at somebody, and it just happened to be Tyler Oneill in the crossfire of it.
Yeah.
And I think that going forward, the manager should definitely, there needs to be some sort of intervention with him, because if that's how he's going to deal with players making small, minor mistakes that aren't really their fault all season, buckle in, St. Louis Cardinals fans, because you're in for a long one then. Because that is not a fun way to play baseball, especially when you have so many young guys and so many talented, could be considered generational guys on your team, and they just can't have fun, is not okay, in my opinion.
Okay. I think the Cardinals' main problem this season so far has been their pitching.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, this clubhouse argument has definitely played a part, but that only happened, it's not like that happened day one, and they were still struggling from day one.
It's only been 2 games.
Yeah, because of their pitching. Their pitching has been horrible so far. Their only pitcher who hasn't given up an earned run this season is Jack Flaherty, and he walked 7 batters in his start. He pitched
great.
He pitched 5 no-hit innings, but walked 7 batters and gave up no runs. Just one of the weirdest starts I think ever seen. But besides Jack Flaherty, all of their other starters have not looked great. Miles Michaelis has looked bad. Jordan Montgomery definitely didn't look like he did when they got him from the Yankees last season.
Well, it's one start.
Yeah. But this whole episode is extreme overreactions. We're 5-6 games into the season. None of this is
It's true.
Jake Woodford was bad in his start. Steven Matz was not great in his start either.
Just nobody but Jack Flaherty was good in their start even for the Cardinals, which can be attested to the teams that they're playing. The Blue Jays and the Braves back-to-back is not easy for any team in baseball.
No.
So I'm gonna push a little bit on that, but also you guys this whole offseason was like, we don't need to go trade for a pitcher. We don't need to go sign a pitcher because we have Miles Michaelis, Steven Matz, Jordan Montgomery, Jack Flaherty coming back. And it's like, it's not equating to anything right now.
Well, and they're missing Adam Wainwright.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, they've been playing difficult teams. Do I still think that makes up for this bad of starts? No. I'm interested to see how Jack Flaherty pitches tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch.
How does one come back after throwing 5 no-hit innings but walking 7 batters? That just means
you throw 7 no-hit innings while walking 5 batters.
I'm
onto something. Let me cook.
That would be incredible if he pitched. That's a great start.
That's a great start.
Because 7 walked batters in 5 innings pitched is kind of a lot. But
then if you flip it, it looks really good.
Yeah, I guess so. Jack Flaherty, good for you. But their bullpen also couple guys that you would normally not see give up runs have given up a couple runs so far this season. I know Ryan Helsley kind of blew them again, or he just gave up the game-winning run. Cardinals, they are another team that just need to find their groove. Yep. Not get comfortable, because right now the Brewers are ahead of them in the NL. They're playing the Brewers this weekend, I believe. So that should be a fun matchup. We'll see if they can actually start winning against the Brewers, like when they really, really need to. Because these are the games that really matter, are the in-division games. Even though it's this early in the season, in-division games matter the entire season.
Yeah, so tiebreakers. Ask the Mets of last year. Tiebreakers are important.
Yeah, so they need to. Their pitching needs to step up. I believe it's Flaherty then Monty, or it's Monty then Flaherty. So
something like that.
Cardinals, you good, bro?
As for the last team that needs to be asked that simple question of, are you good, bro? The 2022 World Series champion Houston Astros are not off to the great start that we expected them to have. So let me go through all of this, and then I want to hear your opinions after. They split their opening series while dropping the home opener to the Chicago White Sox. Did not look too hot in that series. Yes, they won 2 games, but the 2 losses were very much losses from the first time the White Sox took a lead type of thing. Then they lost a series 2-3, they lost 2 out of 3 against the Detroit Tigers, where they had Hunter Brown, who threw his first start, which is the guy who I wanted to really talk about for that series. He went 4 2/3 innings with 6 hits, 4 earned runs, and 5 Ks. He looked okay, but he definitely needs to improve. But you lost the series to the Tigers. Now, the big thing that I want to mention, the Astros, we know them, we remember them, and think about their 2022 season as a very, very dominant regular season. Am I wrong?
Not wrong.
How many games did they lose in the postseason? Throughout the whole postseason?
I believe 2.
Just 2. Do you know how many times last season, last season, this Houston Astros team lost 3 games in a row? Do you know how many times that happened?
How many times? Tell me.
They lost 3 straight games 3 times in a row last season. And the first one didn't come till almost the All-Star break.
Yeah.
We are 8 games in for the Houston Astros, and they already have lost 3 straight games. I'm hoping it's not a trend with them, because they have so many guys that I want to watch, and especially when Altuve comes back, and they have so much good pitching that it's going to be hard for me to wrap my head around the thought of the Astros not being good. I think we can say Astros need to find the mojo. They need to find that secret stuff that they were drinking last year, because this team is meant to win, not drop or tie a series with these bad teams.
Well, yeah. Let's just preface. They lost 2 of 3 to the Detroit Tigers, which, if you said that to me last year, that is absolutely ridiculous. No excuses for an Astros team like that to be dropping 2 out of 3 to the Tigers, let alone only winning the last game of the series.
Yeah.
Yes, they won
convincingly. Chas McCormick, nonetheless.
Yes, they won convincingly, but still, there's no excuse. You have guys like Yordan Alvarez and Jose Abreu who have been very good to start the season. But then you also have...
And Kyle Tucker.
But then you also have 2 of your main guys in Jeremy Pena and Alex Bregman who have just done nothing so far this season. And overreactions, yes, because these guys can get hot at any point. I think what this team is missing is Jose Altuve. I think the biggest thing this team needs right now is a guy like Jose Altuve, the leader of this team. Instead of Jose Altuve right now at second base, they have Mauricio Dubon. That is a big step down from Jose Altuve.
That's a war crime.
That is a big step down from Jose Altuve. I think once Jose Altuve comes back, this team will really find its mojo, and I think this team will get into its groove before that even happens. I think give them a couple of weeks, and they will be the Astros that we saw last season. When you look at their starting pitching, Urquidy had a bad first start. Hunter Brown had a bad first start. Give them time. let them get a couple starts in. Let them, get a little comfortable pitching on the mound. And I think I'm not worried is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yes, we're, what are we, 5 games into the season? 6 games into the season?
For them, 8.
Seven.
My apologies.
I was like, it's not 8. They got postponed today. So we're 7 games into the season. We're a week into the season. This team just won the World Series in one of the most convincing fashions.
World Series hangover?
No. Not with a team like this. This is more of a matter of, I don't even know what this is a matter of, but I'm not worried for the Astros whatsoever.
Neither am I, but they do need to find their footing because if that AL West opens up, the Mariners are more than happy to step in.
Yes, but I don't know. I think, especially once Jose Altuve comes back, that's really what they're missing.
Yeah, I like how I mentioned the Mariners. They're actually last in the division right now.
Oh yeah, Mariners coming back. What are they? 1-5?
They're 2-5.
2-5. My fault. The Angels are actually first in this division.
Well, this happens every year. This happened last year, too. Taylor Ward was going off. Mike Trout was healthy and looking great.
They want a Shohei Ohtani start.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani was doing great. They want a Shohei Ohtani start, like Alex just said. And, the Angels do this every year.
Rendon's beating up fans.
Rendon is trying to
we didn't even mention that.
Smack the hell out of a fan. It's not worth our time. They apologize to each other.
It's still worth our time. It's still worth our time. Regardless if they apologize, Anthony Rendon is suspended for 4 games. 4 games, he's appealing it. So,
well, he appealed the 5, got 4.
Right. So he's suspended for 4 games. So Anthony Rendon, he's not a fan of playing baseball games with the Angels apparently because he always finds a reason to not play games.
Can't blame him.
Wow.
Hey, just remember, he's the best left-handed batter in Angels history. So you can never take that away from him.
Okay. You could, but anyway. So he's gone for 4 games now. Yes, you might say it's not worth our time. I still think that's still worth our time because he's still not going to be playing this week, which is still a story, Rendon, man, I just want to see Rendon play baseball for, give me a good 2 weeks.
Give me a month, honestly.
Come on, Rendon.
I'm done with this 2 weeks. Hell no. Give me 2 months, dude.
Anthony Rendon, play over 60 games in a season challenge. Impossible.
Difficulty not doable. Yeah.
Anthony Rendon. But the Angels, will they keep it up? How long will the Angels keep this up?
I think it's more of a question of how long will the Rangers keep it up. Because I think it's kind of almost written in stone at this point that the Angels will fail eventually. It's the Rangers who I'm more curious about because they've overhauled their offense 2 seasons ago and now overhauled their pitching for this season.
It's combining now.
Yeah, how long will that last?
I think it'll last.
I hope it does, because give me a battle for the Lone Star State. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Looking forward to both of those teams. The Rangers play the Cubs this weekend, and the Angels play the Blue Jays. So, what?
This will get interesting quick.
The Angels Blue Jays series will make it. We'll make it the whole Angels situation very interesting, depending on how they do.
Depending on how
if the Angels can, I'd say if the Angels take the series against the Blue Jays, I'm gonna start to sit here like, Like it's them doing the little fishing hook that you do at a party and start reeling them in, and you're just like you're slowly falling into the trap. If the Angels win this series against the Blue Jays, they will be slowly reeling me in.
If the Angels make the playoffs this year, I think it's safe to say that we both need to go get some Angels jerseys, because I'm wearing my merch right now that we got at Angel Stadium, but it's not a jersey. I think if the Angels make the playoffs, I got to commit to a jersey.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
She didn't get that. Can you try again?
But maybe. I don't know. I think it might be every baseball fan kind of needs an Ohtani jersey. The unicorn.
The unicorn.
Yeah. An Ohtani jersey or a Tyler Wade jersey.
A T-Wade. Well, no, he's with Oakland now.
Yeah, but still Angels. One of the best Angels of all time.
True.
I'd argue. Best looking Angels of all time. That's true. That's
so
true.
Anyways.
Is that all we got for today?
I believe that's it.
The baseball.
Yep.
The baseball. So currently, as of, well, now it is April 4th. I'm so dumb. Now it is April 7th.
Yeah.
the current division leaders are looking like the Tampa Bay Rays, the Cleveland Guardians, the Los Angeles Angels tied with the Texas Rangers, the Braves, the Brewers, and the Dodgers, and the Tampa Bay Rays are the only team that is undefeated in baseball. We'll be back on Monday morning, and we'll see how much of what I just said changes from then. Because with these early in the season, that literally could change in the matter of 2 days. So we'll see what happens there. We thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for listening, watching, viewing, subscribing. If you liked, make sure to leave a like, share, follow the podcast, comment to support. Just anything. We love you guys.
Do it all.
Let's go baseball.
Let's go baseball.
And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.